Well, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has released the Index of Services Production. This is a trial index, but this is first of such index which will measure the activity in services sector, which accounts for more than 50% of the economy. Right now, we are joined by Dr. Saurav Garg. He is Secretary at MOSPI. Sir, thank you so much for talking to ET Now. My first question is, as you had stated that this this services sector accounts for more than 50%, and this will be the first index to measure services sector. So why it take such a long time to come out with index, and what were the key challenges that you have faced while bringing out this index?
Thank you for having me. At the outset, I must say that the services index is brought out by a select group of countries. These include some in Asia, some of the European countries, and in North America. So to that extent, we joined this select group of countries with a monthly index that we now are bringing out. One of the major challenges of the services production index has been availability of data and data at high frequency. I think with the penetration of Digital India and the reforms that have been taken in the past decade, especially the GST reform that has taken place, we now have availability of high frequency monthly data for the services sector, which we did not have earlier. And as you mentioned, services comprise more than 50% of the economy. We have been scanning and looking at what are the data gaps and where we need to improve the macroeconomic indicators and parameters that we generate. And we realize that this is an area that would help policy planning, that would help policy decision makers across the government, the Reserve Bank, and in the private sector. And therefore, we prioritized creation of the Index for Services Production.
So right now, this is a trial index, and it is representing more than 60% of services sector, with 19 subsectors growth rate have been put out in that index. But this time, sir, there was no headline figure. I mean, the overall growth rate was not there. What was the reason for that, sir?
So as you mentioned, we are covering at present about 60% of the services sector, and services itself comprise nearly 55% of the GDP. Some of the areas where we don't bring out the indicator, we bring it out in 19 subsectors. Some of the major areas where we don't, one is health, another is education, a third is ownership of dwellings. We are looking at getting data in these sectors also. And once we have these sectors, we will have nearly 80% of the services sector covered. Further, at the same time, this is the first time that we are bringing out this data. So we wanted to see the stability and the robustness of the data as we bring it out over the next few months. And then we will bring out a headline number following this internal examination that is completed.
So some of the independent bodies, they in fact calculated headline number for the 19 subsectors, and it was somewhere around like 10%, 9-10%. One is, what is your take on that? Is it around that? And the second is, since this is a trial index, so when we will see a full-fledged index, and like if time frame you could give on that?
See, the headline numbers depend on what weightage you assign to each of these 19 sectors. So I really won't be able to comment on the numbers that have been put out. But all I can say is that the services index showed a very healthy economy and a healthy growth in the in different sectors, in the 19 sectors. As you must have seen, in some sectors it is at high double digits, cross 20 and even 30%. And that is also corroborated by the data that is seen in some of the underlying manufacturing which is related to that, whether it's of transport equipment, whether it's of automobiles, whether it is of steel and cement, etc. So I think the numbers seem to corroborate each other, and that is what we have kept in view. When will we bring out a headline number? We hope to bring out at the earliest possible. As I mentioned, we will look at the data for the next few months and then take a view on that.
So you mentioned about sectors. So 14 of the 19 sectors recorded double-digit growth, and like accommodation, these are some of the sectors where it was in fact 30%. So the question is, sir, is it also a base effect that that was behind this such a huge growth that we are seeing, or is it the actual growth in the economy?
If you look at it, we even brought out, this is the base year is 24-25. And one of the reasons for choosing that as the base year was that it was a normal year and we had the data for that year. CPI uses the base of 24. 25-26 data is also there, so the entire year's data is there. And that also shows a healthy growth. While in certain subsectors, there could be areas where there could be a base effect, but it cannot be in all the 19 sectors. And given the fact that the growth rates in 2025-26 have also been healthy, we expect that this healthy growth will also continue in future.
So on air transport services and railways recorded contraction in the growth. In fact, air transport, air services, it was like 13% contraction. So what is the reason for that? Is it because of the West Asia crisis? I mean, overall, the impact of West Asia crisis, it was reflected in that ISP as well?
So in April 2026, you are aware that a number of flights were affected, and I think that showed up in the air subsector index. In most of the others, the resilience of the Indian economy has come out. This was also seen in the IIP figures. This had also been earlier seen in the GDP growth figures. And I think the ISP only confirms that the Indian economy has been doing extremely well despite the global headwinds.
So now we have index for services production, we have index for industrial production. Now, the third important area is agriculture. If you look at the economy, so there we have three areas like agriculture, allied services. So, are we going to have an index for agriculture and allied sector as well, like a monthly index that we have for now services and industrial production?
On the agriculture side, we partly Ministry of Statistics and Ministry of Agriculture and others, there's a host of data that comes out. There is crop data that comes out, there is area estimation that is done which comes out, and a series of surveys on situation assessment that is done. So on the agriculture side, given that that's historically been an area that has been, in fact, statistics started in the agriculture sector in the 1950s by bringing out various details about the agriculture sector. So a monthly index for the agriculture sector is perhaps not required, unlike for the industrial and the services sector.
So the other area that I want to touch is regarding the use of artificial intelligence in statistics. So the MOSPI has been working on that. So could you please update what is the status right now and how you're going to use AI and which are the models that you're working on?
So one of the focus areas is that we want technology to be much more deeply ingrained in the system. We don't do any surveys on pen and paper. They are all on tablets. The data all resides in internal portals and on the cloud. On our website, we have a chatbot, which is an AI-based chatbot. We are doing different research projects with the leading institutions in the country on how we can make better use of AI models in our data. We already have the small domain, small language models, which focus on the data which is there on our website so that people can make use of it more easily. And through the model context protocol, any of the large language models can access the data. Our objective is to ensure that the vast amounts of macroeconomic data are used in decision making, and whatever policies we make are based on evidences that this data throws up. So our focus is how to ensure that the dissemination is done better, infographics and visualization is done in a manner that people can understand it easily, and that the data is available in a machine-readable format, so it can be picked up by others through models or whatever systems that they are using, and we'll continue to focus on that.
Sir, coming back on ISP, so sir, as we know that IIP, it comes with a lag of 1 month, but in ISP, the date that you are given, that it will come on the 29th of every month, but it will be with a lag of 2 months, because now we'll have May data in the month of July. So one question is, sir, what is the reason behind this 2 months lag in case of ISP, but that is not the case with IIP?
In IIP, as you know, we have reduced the time from 42 days to 28 days. And that's based on how we get the information from the different factories that are surveyed. The ISP is based a large amount of it on the GST data, and we have other administrative data also. As you are aware, in GST, the companies have a 30-day window to upload the data, and then we get it further after a lag of about 15 to 20 days. Since we get the data in 45 to 50 days, that's why the 60-day timeline.
Sir, coming on the future areas, as MOSPI has been bringing out new data sets, so which are the areas on which we'll see data sets and the surveys have been going on, and which are in the planning stage right now, and in future we'll see the data sets on those areas?
So that is a regular work that we do. We look at what data gaps exist. We discuss with other ministries and departments and ask them what is required. So based on that, for example, you might be aware we've just started the income survey this year. We are doing a survey on cooperatives because that was one sector we lacked information. And this is a continuous process we do. Apart from that, on the surveys also, we discuss with industry, with researchers, and look at where the gaps exist. So as of now, we have made a plan to look at the next 2 years, and those surveys are already underway. And offhand, I'm not able to say that which would be the area, but this is a continuous process.
So one last question. It's regarding base year, sir. So in IIP and CPI, and in fact for GDP also, you stated earlier that we will revise our base years in 3 to 5 years tenure. So will that be the same case in ISP also, in every 3 to 5 years that base year will be revised for ISP as well?
Yeah. So we are saying 3 to 5 years is when we do our surveys that we do. And the revisions will be as per the international norms, which is normally 5 to 7 years. Okay. So we would be following that, and we expect to hope that we would be able to adhere to those timetables.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for talking to ET now.
Thank you.